April is stacked for Switch and Switch 2 players. From cozy adventures and brutal action to racing sims and legendary RPGs, there's something for everyone this month. Let's get into it. Moomintroll Winter's Warmth drops April 27th from Hyper Games, the same team behind Snufkin Melody of Moomin Valley. You play as Moomintroll, who wakes up from hibernation way too early and finds his beloved Moomin Valley buried under the icy grip of the Lady of the Cold. Everyone he knows is still asleep, and the world around him is unrecognizable. From the moment you open your eyes in that dark bedroom, matches in hand, there's this eerie stillness that slowly gives way to something magical. The game is a top-down, third-person puzzle adventure built around exploration and environmental puzzles. No combat, no rush, just you navigating a beautifully hand-drawn winter world. You meet quirky characters, solve cozy puzzles, and help Moomintroll grow from a scared little creature into someone genuinely brave. The art looks like a living pastel painting, and the piano-driven soundtrack hits at exactly the right moments. It's around 7 hours long, perfect for a weekend playthrough. MotoGP 26 rolls onto Switch and Switch 2 for the first time on April 29th, and this one's a big deal for racing fans. Developed by Milestone, it brings the full official 2026 MotoGP season. Every real rider, every real track across MotoGP, Moto2, and Moto3 categories. The biggest change this year is the new rider-based handling system. Instead of just controlling the bike directly, you're now managing the rider's body weight and movements, which gives corners and high-speed sections a completely different, more physical feel. On top of that, a new dynamic rider rating system updates based on real-world race results. So if a rider is dominating the season, they'll be stronger in the game too. Career mode now puts you in a full 3D paddock with press conferences and a personal manager who handles contracts and team negotiations. There's both arcade and pro modes, so newcomers and sim veterans both have their place. Mouse. PI for Hire is honestly one of the most visually unique games coming out in 2026. It launches April 16th on Switch 2 and is a first-person boomer shooter. Think Doom-level speed and chaos wrapped entirely in hand-drawn, black and white 1930s rubber hose animation. Every frame is drawn by hand. You play as Jack Pepper, a former war hero turned private detective in the cartoon noir city of Mouseburg. What starts as a simple missing persons case spirals fast into murder, corruption, and organized crime. The gameplay is fast, movement-driven, and weapon-focused. You've got Tommy guns, a turpentine gun that dissolves enemies mid-fight, a shotgun you manually slam shells into, and grappling hooks to tear through non-linear levels. Boss fights push you through multiple phases and force you to rethink your loadout. If you've ever watched a golf course and thought, I could design that better, now you actually can. Under Par Golf Architect lands April 16th on Switch 2 and is a full golf course construction and management sim from Broken Arms Games. You start with raw wasteland and use terraforming tools to raise and lower terrain, carve lakes and rivers, lay out fairways, and sculpt greens however you want. Every course you build is fully playable. You can actually go out and test your own holes and tweak them in real time. Beyond course design, you're also running a business, hiring staff with unique personalities, building bars, pools, restaurants, and training facilities, managing budgets, attracting VIP golfers, and hosting tournaments. The deeper you get, the more the management side opens up. You can also simulate rounds instantly if you just want to focus on the business side. Ain't Slayer, Spear of Sacrilege comes out April 20th from Lilymo Games, and it is a blood-drenched, pixel art, side-scrolling hack and slash set in 1698 Europe. You play as Rudiger, an ex-soldier turned farmer who's forced back into fighting when a corrupt priest named Father Pacer starts violently stealing Catholic relics across the Holy Roman Empire and unleashing demonic forces in the process. Armed with the Spear of Sacrilege, you battle through 21 handcrafted stages filled with gothic horror enemies, dark castles, haunted villages, and 7 monstrous bosses, all with a punishing chiptune soundtrack and crunchy pixel gore. There's full 2-player co-op with friendly fire, which adds a chaotic edge to the whole experience. You also get player choice moments. Do you help stranded people or not? And those decisions affect your upgrades and unlock different endings. Multiple endings, challenges, and New Game Plus give it solid replay value. Chainstaff hits Switch on April 8th, and it's the kind of scrappy, brutally creative indie action platformer that deserves way more attention. Made by Nathan Fouts of Mommy's Best Games, formerly of Insomniac, you play as a mutant soldier with an alien permanently fused to your head. Earth's been invaded by star spores that mutate everything into ferocious uberbugs. And your only tool is the Chainstaff, a weapon that transforms with a single button press into a spear to slice enemies in half, a shield to block incoming attacks, or a grappling hook to swing across levels. The whole combat system flows from that one button, and the variety of ways you can use it keeps the experience fresh across all 10 levels, each designed to feel like a heavy metal album cover come to life. The soundtrack from Broforce composer Dion Van Heerden absolutely slaps. Cleaning Up launches April 15th on Switch and PC, and it's surprisingly hard to put down. You're a gig economy cleaning worker who gets hired for increasingly weird jobs through an app called Cleaner. One moment, you're decluttering a hoarded apartment. The next, you're mopping a haunted mansion while avoiding ghosts who genuinely dislike your presence. And then, you're puzzle-solving your way through an ancient temple treasure room. You've got a full toolkit: vacuum, mop, spray, broom, and each environment has its own rules. The art museum level means one bump sends a priceless vase shattering, docking your star rating. There's no combat, no fail-state pressure in most levels, just you, a mess, and the deeply satisfying process of making it spotless. You earn cash, upgrade your tools, buy outfits, and revisit old stages for better scores. It's the kind of game you boot up to decompress and end up playing for 2 hours. Gecko Gods is one of those games that looks simple on the surface, but completely pulls you in once you start playing. It releases April 16th on Switch from Super Rare Games and developer In Resin. You play as a tiny gecko on a mission to rescue a friend, exploring a mysterious chain of islands that was once home to a lost civilization. As a gecko, you can scale any wall, cling to ceilings, scramble up cliffs, and reach spots that no human-sized adventurer ever could. And the movement feels genuinely joyful. The islands are filled with crumbling ruins, ancient temples, hidden caves, and environmental puzzles that you solve using your gecko agility. Between islands, you sail a tiny wooden boat across calm water, which is its own kind of lovely. There's no combat whatsoever, no timer, no pressure, just exploration, atmosphere, puzzle solving, and occasionally using your tongue to snap up bugs along the way. Kingdom's Return from Inti Creates drops April 23rd on Switch and Switch 2 at just $14.99, and it mashes two genres together in a way that actually works. You're a lone adventurer tasked by Kronos, the Fairy of Time, with restoring the ruined kingdom of Almacia and unraveling the mystery behind its fall. The loop is this: you head into 2D side-scrolling action stages to collect materials, fight enemies, and level up. Then bring those materials back to rebuild your kingdom in a city-building strategy layer. Every building you place buffs your character's stats, which makes you stronger for the next stage, which gets you more materials, and so on. You pick from 4 playable characters: Imperial, Alchemist, Wizard, and Zapangu, each with completely different combat styles and mechanics. You can switch between them in the Kingdom Hub. Yi's Memoire, Revelations in Celceta, is the big one for April. Developed by Nihon Falcom and published by Xseed Games, it hits Switch exclusively on April 28th at $29.99. This is a remastered version of Yi's Memories of Celceta, and it follows series hero Adol Christin, who wakes up in the vast wilderness of Celceta with no memory of who he is or how he got there. A general sends him and his companion Durin into the unexplored Great Forest to map it, a mission nobody has ever returned from. As Adol ventures deeper, he starts piecing together fragments of his past by touching memory orbs scattered across the land, and the picture that emerges involves political corruption, ancient secrets, and people who seem to know him better than he knows himself. The combat is fast, party-based action, where you swap between allies on the fly, and each party member has a unique ability that changes how you interact with the world, breaking walls, opening chests, activating switches. Jay and Silent Bob: Chronic Blunt Punch brings a classic side-scrolling beat-em-up experience to Nintendo Switch with a modern twist. The game focuses on fast-paced combat, where you can switch between Jay and Silent Bob on the fly, creating tag-team combos that add a layer of strategy beyond simple button mashing. Each character has unique moves, and timing your attacks properly lets you chain satisfying combos while dealing with waves of enemies and chaotic boss fights. You can play solo or jump into local co-op, which really enhances the experience as both players coordinate attacks and abilities. The progression system lets you unlock new skills and upgrades, keeping the gameplay fresh as you move through different levels. The story follows the duo on a ridiculous journey that starts grounded, but quickly escalates into something far more absurd, filled with humor and references. inKONBINI, One Store, Many Stories, is a calm, narrative-driven experience coming to Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 on April 30th, 2026. You play as Makoto, a college student managing a small-town convenience store during a quiet summer in the early 90s. The gameplay revolves around simple but satisfying tasks, like stocking shelves, organizing products, and serving customers, all designed to create a relaxing daily routine. What makes it stand out is how these small interactions slowly build into meaningful stories. Every customer has their own personality and struggles, and through dialogue choices, you can influence how their stories unfold. The game focuses less on challenge and more on atmosphere, letting you take your time and enjoy the environment. With its nostalgic setting, soft pacing, and character-driven storytelling, it delivers a cozy experience where even the smallest moments feel important. Tomodachi Life: Living the Dream is a social life simulation game coming to Nintendo Switch on April 16, 2026. It expands on the original formula by giving you more control over a lively island filled with Miis, each with their own personalities and daily routines. You can create and customize characters in greater detail, then guide their lives by helping with problems, giving gifts, decorating homes, and shaping relationships. Unlike before, interactions are less random, allowing you to influence friendships, rivalries, and even romance more directly. The island itself is also customizable, letting you design the environment to match your style. There's no traditional story, but the real appeal comes from the unpredictable and often funny situations that emerge as your Miis interact. It's a relaxed experience where you check in daily and watch your own unique world grow and evolve over time. Outbound is a cozy, open-world exploration and crafting game coming to Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 on April 23, 2026. The core idea is simple, but really fresh. You build and live inside a moving camper van. You start with almost nothing, then slowly transform your van into a fully functional mobile home by crafting furniture, tools, and upgrades. The gameplay focuses on exploring a colorful world, gathering resources, and managing energy using systems like solar panels and wind power, which adds a light survival layer without feeling stressful. There's also farming and sustainability mechanics that let you live off the land while traveling. You can play solo or in co-op, making the journey feel more dynamic with friends. Instead of a traditional story, the game is about freedom and personal adventure. Pragmata is a sci-fi action-adventure game coming to Nintendo Switch 2 on April 24, 2026. The game stands out with its dual-character gameplay, where you control astronaut Hugh while also relying on a young android named Diana. Instead of simple shooting, combat is built around coordination, as Diana can hack enemies and systems to expose weaknesses before Hugh can deal damage. This creates a more strategic flow, where timing and teamwork are key. Exploration plays a big role as well, with players navigating a futuristic lunar station using advanced mobility tools that add verticality to movement. The story follows Hugh after a disaster leaves him stranded on the moon, where he meets Diana and uncovers a deeper mystery involving a hostile AI controlling the station. The narrative focuses on their growing connection, while blending emotional moments with a strange, atmospheric sci-fi setting that feels both isolated and intriguing. That's the full April lineup. Which of these are you picking up? Drop it in the comments. If this helped, hit like and subscribe so you never miss a gaming video. See you in the next one.